ZEPBOUND 5 milligrams, not losing weight, a study-based data with 5 tips to help power through for your ZEPBOUND weight loss goals. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost over 106 pounds, and I want to share with you, what if I told you today that a specific study could tell you what dose to be on? We're going to go through a bunch of different studies today of how you can have conversations with your healthcare provider to specifically talk about dose. If you're having issues or friction with where you want to be on your ZEPBOUND weight loss goals, trust me, I know, been there, done that, having been on over 27 and a half months, over 100 plus injections of being on ZEPBOUND mounjaro and tirzepatide compound, and having lost over 106 pounds, still just shy, about 20 pounds shy of my goal weight, but almost there, almost am there. Almost to a healthy BMI. I'm still technically considered overweight, but here is my results after the beginning, after 1 year, and now after 2 years of being on tirzepatide, ZEPBOUND, and mounjaro. And so I want to deep dive in. First, tip number one, straight out of the gate, is this is not medical advice. I'm not a healthcare provider. I do not pretend to play one on the internet. Simply my experience, strength, and hope from somebody who was morbidly obese to now not being morbidly obese and living in a healthy body, walking 2 to 6 miles per day, weight training, and doing all of these things. But this number one is to talk to your healthcare provider. So I got a comment from an awesome viewer. Hey viewer, hi friend, hi bestie, who said, last week I didn't lose any weight. I am on, I'm assuming she's saying ZEPBOUND 5 milligrams and not mounjaro 5 milligrams, but I could be wrong on that. Do I need to move to 7.5 milligrams would be the ZEPBOUND dose for it? And so first and foremost, I'd say, well, what does your healthcare provider say? That this needs to be a conversation with them. If you're not having a conversation with them, then perhaps switching. I love Join Fridays. Use the discount code QUEEN, particularly if you're looking for semi-glutide compounds. They're awesome. I will link, by the way, all of the things I'm going to be talking about on today's episode down in the description. Just click that ... more button. But let's go to the studies. Let's go to the data. I am evidence-driven, and there's a study that was done that I will cite my source down below. It's from the New England Journal of Medicine, and this was published in 2022, but it's really important, I think, to notice, because let's talk about the study. Like, let's go straight into the data. So that's not the data I wanted to show you. It's talking about the mean weight loss change after 72 weeks of being on 3 different doses of ZEPBOUND/mounjaro. And I'm assuming this person is on ZEPBOUND, which is FDA approved for sleep apnea and FDA approved also for obesity management and like weight management. And so here in this study, this is from the New England Journal of Medicine about tirzepatide once weekly for treatment of obesity. They had the ZEPBOUND 5 milligram dose, the ZEPBOUND 10 milligram dose, and the highest dose, which is ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams, which is what I'm on and have been on now for well over a year, over 14 months with it. And then there's the placebo in there too. So they're talking in the study about a once a week injection and the percentage change in weight loss. So ZEPBOUND 5 milligrams, that's the second dose. It starts at ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams, and then you can titrate up to the second dose. The percentage weight loss was 15% after 72 weeks. You'll notice for ZEPBOUND 10 milligrams, that percentage weight loss change after 72 weeks goes to 19.5%. And then titrating up to ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams is 20.9% weight loss after 72 weeks. So a couple of things that I pull out from this data is, one, perhaps if I were you, I would talk to your, and again, not healthcare provider, but simply from my own journey, I would titrate up. If after, and I don't know how long you've been on the 5 milligrams, I was on ZEPBOUND, it was mounjaro 5 milligrams, because there was no ZEPBOUND. It wasn't at that, there was no such thing as ZEPBOUND at that point. It was all under the mounjaro umbrella. So let's just akin it to ZEPBOUND 5 milligrams. I was only on it for a month. I took the 4 pens, so 28 days worth, 7 days times 4 pens, 28 days total. And then I titrated up to 7.5 milligrams. Also during that time, there was a shortage, which also changed the days that I was on each dose. But with that, you may just need data-based to go up to a higher dose, 15% weight loss versus the highest dose. Not that you're going to reach that point because you got to titrate up, but it's 20.9% weight loss versus 15% weight loss. So what is that? 6%, almost 6% points different after 72 weeks. And so again, I'm a flawed human being. I very well could be reading this data wrong, but I don't think so. I think again it warrants a conversation with your healthcare provider. But two, if after 2 weeks you've not lost weight, talk to your healthcare provider. I would titrate up. I would after 2 weeks. I'd be like, that is the second dose, and we know out of our doses. If you're confused too, just to give some context on this as well. I want to show you our dose chart. Hopefully I have it on here, but I may have moved it. So if I can't find it quickly, I'm going to move on. But with the dosing chart, that you still have a lot more doses to go. It's not like you're, you know what I mean? Like I'm at the highest possible dose. And so with that, I would, yeah, I don't have my dosing chart. I guess I took it off. I would look at titrating up. So number two is let's look at the data. Along those point of titrating up is talking about adverse within the same study, the adverse events occurring with, what is this when it's facing that way? Is that greater than 5% of the participants? I think it's greater than 5%. Yeah, greater than. Hopefully I'm reading that right. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. With nausea, diarrhea, and constipation. So the highest part of that was out of these was nausea for all of the different doses. So comparing nausea to diarrhea and constipation versus the 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, and 15 milligrams. I'm going to make that even a little bit bigger if I can so you guys can see. But you can see in there about how your side effects may also affect this titration upgrade. And so just keeping that in mind, that may be an issue with, it looks more nausea than diarrhea than constipation. So keeping that in mind, I love for constipation, I'm obsessed with Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. It has 7 types of magnesium. One of those types of magnesium helps I don't have constipation anymore. Use the discount code QUEEN. That's linked down below. For diarrhea, I am obsessed with element electrolytes. If I'm expelling out, I want electrolytes to be replaced, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. I have 8 free sticks with any purchase. That's linked down below. But monitoring your side effects is going to be important with that titration up, particularly with the first to second week on there. So if you're not losing weight, I would look at titrating up on there and then being mindful of the side effects corresponding with those too, right? Like I think that that's really, really important with it. And on countessofshopping.com/shop, the Count has worked really, really hard on our website to get all of those free things and affiliate codes and things like that for you. Like if you want discount codes, it's all on that, which is also linked in the description link below. Number 4 is what is in your control. I'm assuming, because this is the way obesity works, well, I'm going to assume, let me not assume anything. For me, with my obesity and my obesity management, I took in a lot of things that were problems when they weren't really problems of that I was deficit in these things and that I was the problem. And yeah, there was some problems within it, but it was also a genetic thing and a hormonal thing. Having a GLP-1 deficiency and then fixing that or greatly aiding in it, of my GLP-1 deficiency now, I can adhere to a meal plan. I can work out. I can do all the things I know I'm supposed to do. And you probably, I don't know your name, or I didn't want to share your name, I'm sorry, on here. So we're going to call you Sally. So Sally, I'm going to, sorry, Sally, that I didn't pull up I didn't want to break your anonymity. But things that are within your control, I'm going to assume you're doing the things within your control you're supposed to be doing, right? Like you're not eating a bucket of chicken and like a big pizza and things like eating massive calories while being on this medication. I think people assume that a lot of people who don't have obesity and haven't had obesity management of, we're not just sitting here like consuming candy and like crappy foods. Like I know I am actively working on my foods. And so I want to encourage you, if you haven't gotten my free meal plan, I actually have two that were dietitian created, linked on countessofshopping.com down below. And you can check out one of my recent YouTube videos. I talk about using AI for your meal plans. There's a lot of things that you can do with that, but things within your control and things that aren't. On my first year, which I'm assuming you're in your first year, I focused solely on food. I did not focus in on like the lifting aspect and things like that now. Now I'm lifting and I'm doing all of these things and that's amazing and I'm so proud of myself. Woohoo! But I didn't do that on year 1. That happened in year 2. And so for year 1 for you, I would encourage you to really work on the food. part of the obesity management component of it and the weight management component of it. So learning about proteins, using my meal plan as a guide, and then coming up with, on countessofshopping.com, we have a calorie, it's an overarching, how many calories should you eat in a day? And so that has been helpful for me. I've actually had to revisit that quite a few times with more workouts that it's changed. And as my weight's changed, that number has had to change. So figuring out how many calories a day, then tracking that. And within that, increasing my protein. We have got to focus in on muscle mass building because we're losing muscle mass, most of us, with weight loss. The media likes to scare us with that, but that happens with any weight loss, not just GLP-1 weight loss. But nonetheless, we still have to focus in on that, which hence the lifting weights and hence the protein focus, because that helps to build muscle. My personal favorites are two to easily, I tried to eat all foods and not have any sort of supplements. I could not. You are a better woman or man than me if you straight eat, like just straight with no supplements. For me, my favorites are, I am obsessed with Bioptimizers, their protein breakthrough and their mushroom breakthrough. Love it. Their protein breakthrough is awesome. It's chocolate. If you want more flavors than chocolate, my other favorite one is Clean Simple Eats. Clean Simple Eats does have xylitol in it. FYI, if you have dogs or cats, that can kill your dogs or cats. So xylitol is spelled XY if you see that on like the labels. But getting proteins you love. Finding proteins you love to help aid in appetite suppression, because this is where I'm like, it is not your fault for the GLP-1 hormone, like that's genetic, right? And the more we find out about biomarkers and more the genetic component of it, the more I realize like, gosh, I was led to believe through my Weight Watchers upbringing with a banana with 2 points and all these like that I was a horrible human being because of it. Successful in every other aspect of my life except for the juggernaut of weight. And so then once this weight thing got on, I was like, oh my gosh, like making me question myself of like, I really had so many like bad thoughts about myself. It's sad when I look back, actually. I'm like, that's really, really sad. And if I hadn't been morbidly obese, I probably would have had a completely, I would have had a completely different opinion of myself. Not that I'm lazy, because I'm not lazy, but obese people get labeled these things that I'm like, those are not my labels. Like, it's literally a hormone deficiency. And looking at it from that lens point, but that still doesn't absolve me from then using this as a tool to use tools to help me with my healthy weight, like meal plans, like walking, like eating high protein, because the high protein helps keep me fuller longer and helps to build muscle. So finding things that I enjoy. I also love collagen too. That's one of the other things I love. My two favorites, and again, I'll link these down below. You can use the discount code QUEEN. The collagen within Mushroom Breakthrough from Bioptimizers. The caramel is my favorite. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So, so good. And then from Clean Simple Eats, they have the collagen and beauty, like their strawberry colada is my favorite. But they do have like a mix pack, and they also just came out with a vanilla one too, which is really good, and a chocolate silk. But I like their fruity ones. They have a blackberry one. I mean, there's tons. And so that's linked down below. You use the discount code QUEEN. That does not absolve me from making healthy food choices just because I have a genetic, right? And I know you guys know that, and I know that, but I'm also saying it to help hold me accountable too, that there is work involved with this. There is a disbelief from some people that this is just cheating or whatever, because it's not. It really is work behind it, and I know y'all know that. If you've made it this far in the video, you know that. With that, also then walking, for me, has been one of the easiest, best, fastest way to get workouts in and to move my body and to help put me in a calorie deficit so I can lose weight. I love to go horseback riding. This was from my most recent horseback riding trip. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was life-changing. So fabulous. Got to go with my whole family. Hadn't been on a horse because over 300 pounds, I would have crushed the horse and hurt it. And now I'm at a healthy weight of where I can get on a horse and horseback ride. I love that as a form of exercise, but I can't do that every day. And so finding something daily in which I can do, and walking for me has been the easiest. If you want my favorite walking slip-on shoes, those are linked down in the description link below too. Finding something, again, within your control for food and for working out you love. If you don't want to focus in on working out the first year, I just focused in on walking. I could not focus in on lifting and all these other things that came in year 2. So you know yourself better than I do. Thine own self be true. Figure out what works best for you and what you want to focus in on, because an overwhelmed mind does nothing. But when we have laser focused tasks, that's when we can make life changes. And for me, that's how it happened. Very small incremental changes. I always say I'm a turtle. And so having these small incremental changes has made a big difference for it. Number 5, people who lose weight slower, there's a whole study coming out. I'm going to do a whole separate video on it. Are men and type 2 diabetics. I'm assuming based on your comment that you're not a diabetic, that you're not on Mounjaro, because Mounjaro is for diabetics, type 2 diabetics, not type 1, but type 2 diabetics. So I'm going to assume you're taking ZEPBOUND for obesity management and weight management, which would mean that you're not type 2 diabetic. If you are type 2 diabetic, the weight loss is going to be slower. The data tells us that. It's evidence-based. Men are going to be slower. The data tells that that's evidence-based, which is normally men you lose faster than women, which is crazy, but for GLP-1s, they lose slower. So to give some context into that, and also, I don't know if this person, let me go back over. If I still have it, I will surely pull it up. If this person was a gentleman, sometimes I can tell and sometimes I can't. You know, the meanest comments I get are almost always from men. Blows my mind. Anyways, I digress. I don't know why I said that. I always find it fascinating. I'm always like, it's fascinating to me. And the most encouraging comments are almost always women. I know that there's men watching because we've got so many supportive men in the community. Woohoo to our counts out there. I know that we've got so many secret lurkers. If you're a secret lurker, say hello. Come out from the shadows, my love. For our gentlemen and our ladies, come say hello in the chat. You can say secret lurker, and then you can go back to being secret. I think this person, based on their handle, is a woman. I'm not going to say it because it kind of gives away. It's a unique handle that I don't want to break their. It's a public comment, but still, nonetheless. But so number 5, keeping that in mind, that it may just take other people longer. And we know, and I do this in so many of my videos recently, but I do it because it's the representation of there's 4 buckets. There's normal responders. There's hyper responders, meaning people respond really fast to this medication. There's normal responders. There's hypo responders, and then there's non-responders. There is a percentage of the grouping that is a non-responder and a hypo responder. No matter what they do, they are just slower. And so going along this journey, I don't know which one you are based off of, for me, it'd be very flippant to give a 1-sentence comment to give that kind of answer. But it sounds like you may just be a normal responder or a hypo responder. Because I don't want to go to, and this is what my continuous fear is, of going to a place of guilt, shame, condemnation, in which that's what I lived in with my obesity management, with obesity. And that all of this was my fault. And not that it absolves me from being obese, but I tried everything under the sun. I was on every single diet. It wasn't a lack of trying, because Lord knows I thought about my weight so much, literally at least 15 hours a week. It was a part-time job thinking about my weight, about food noise, food chatter. That was a lot of my life. And thank the Lord I don't have that. I had to have some food chatters come back being on the highest dose of ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. I need a higher dose. I can't wait till a higher dose comes out. But nonetheless, the point in which I'm trying to make is a lot of that was not my fault. It was simply my genetics. Now that I have the tools and the science, I mean, we've had the science for GLP-1s, but not the level in which we have now. It's crazy to me. I'm like, it would have saved me so much hardship. Like, youngins today are not going to have to go through this hardship of what I went through back with obesity. And one of you beautiful souls said in your comment, you're like, what if obesity gets eradicated? And I'm like, what if in 50 years it does, or 30 years, or 20 years? Like, I look back on this video in 20 years and obesity with the number, what is it, like 70% or something like that of people are overweight and obese? With GLP-1 medication, it's crazy to think that that could be completely gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a thing for people to be obese once it becomes financially available. And I fully recognize there's that small piece. I'm saying that with tongue in cheek. It's a major piece. It's a major, major, major piece of it. But let's go back to the point at hand. That's the topic for another day. Of not losing weight with the 5 milligrams, I would titrate up 100%. And I go back to me, it is interesting. And if you're still watching this and you're on a different dose, and you're, look at the data from 10 milligrams to 15 milligrams. It's a 1.4% increase over 72 weeks for weight loss. And then I go to the placebo. Those placebo folks lost 3% of weight. No wonder I couldn't lose weight. You know what I mean? Like, at that 3% placebo people That was me trying so hard, 3% versus almost 21%. Trying so hard to lose weight and it's not coming off. And after 72 weeks, I gained and lost, gained, lost, gained, lost, the same freaking merry-go-round, that same merry-go-round. And now to be off that merry-go-round is amazing. Now, for me, I go back to my starting weight. I am above this data, and I still have a ways to go, 20 pounds. And so that I'm still reconciling for, and I haven't, things that I control and things I can't control, like I can't go to a higher dose because there's no such thing in brand name. There is for compounds, but not for brand name. I can't control that. And also, I can control though what I'm eating and if I'm working out today. By the way, the loose skin creams that I've been recommending recently, loose skin is not going to get rid of with a cream. Let's keep that real. Let's be honest with each other. But it certainly does help my confidence. It makes my skin look so much better. You only, I just put on one. I'm going to put on the other because I love the way this one smells. It reminds me of Mary Kay, early 2000s. If you know, you know. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells so good, but it really does. It is comparable to Crepe Erase, which says a lot. If you've seen any of my videos on Crepe Erase, I'm like ride or die with Crepe Erase for loose skin. These are blowing my mind. Still continuing to test, but they have my Countess of Shopping approval. So all of these will be linked down in the description link below, as is the studies, as is the data. Again, I cannot reiterate enough. Talk to your healthcare provider. This is not medical advice, but I absolutely would titrate up in lieu of the data and also in lieu of my own experience. So, and sitting as an armchair, I said in lieu of the data, that's me playing armchair medical provider. And honey, I give high praises to our nurses, our doctors, our PAs, all of the medical PA people, all the medical folks, LPNs, RNs, all of you amazing nurses and individuals and everybody who works in the medical community. Y'all do what I cannot do and you're my heroes, truly. Like, I love y'all healthcare providers so much, so much. Y'all, I could not do what you do. I could not. So, was there anything else I wanted to say? I felt like there was. No, I think we handled it all. Our emoji of the day today is going to be a bow, because we're going to tie a bow on today's video. It's going to be a bow. And I do emojis of the day to get to know you better because I care, and seeing the pattern recognition of your name over and over and over, it will help me to get to know you better. I don't do a daily show. I do a daily show because I sincerely love interacting with y'all. Like, y'all motivate me so much, and I love the Countess of Shopping community, our gentlemen and our ladies both so much. We appreciate you so much. The count over at countessofshopping.com. It has some new great information too if you want to read up on some literature over there. The website is cranking along over there. We're still updating things. It's probably going to take about a month to get it fully up and running the way we want it to be, but the Count's doing a fabulous job over there. So make sure you say great job, Count, in the comments too for me. I'll share with him. Be kind to yourself. No, wait, in our accountability question, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to share this video and click like and subscribe. Mwah. Love ya. See you tomorrow. Bye.